Hey General Hospital fans. I mentioned that I hoped Cyrus would end this week either in prison or in a body bag, and it actually happened. It was Josslyn Jacks who put that fatal bullet in him. I'm doubly excited because I said she was my top choice for who should take him down, and I'm glad it was her. But what's next? It's Belinda, and we're going to discuss where Joss goes from here and whether she'll be arrested or if Jack will step in to save her, possibly demanding some sort of repayment. Please click subscribe if you're not already following us, and now let's dive into the fate of Josslyn Jacks. I had a feeling Jack Brennan would be at the cabin with Josslyn. I even mentioned it in another video earlier this week. What's ironic is that I thought Brennan might show up and fire his gun too, since it sounded like there were 2 shots in the promo. He's been keeping an eye on her, and I think he was worried she might need saving. But she didn't. Cyrus pulled out an axe and said she had to go for interfering with his plans, and that girl didn't hesitate. Joss put a bullet right in his chest, kicked the axe away, and confirmed he was dead. I was fist pumping when she did it. She got justice for Dex. But when Cyrus called her a murderer, of course, Joss shed a tear. Not that he deserved any sympathy. I think she was more upset about losing her innocence by having to kill someone, rather than being sad that Cyrus is dead. I bet poor Charles would throw her a parade if they knew. But will they ever find out? Joss called Jack Brennan for help. He's going to take charge of the situation and offer Josslyn a couple of options: call the police or handle things themselves. Maybe Jack has a cleaner in town, someone who deals with crime scenes and body disposal for the WSB, ensuring there's no evidence left behind. He might even suggest that he and Joss take Cyrus and dump him in one of those abandoned wells nearby. Remember how Maxie tricked that bad fake nurse, Chloe, into falling into one of them years ago? Alternatively, Brennan might propose setting up the crime scene in a way that keeps Joss from being a suspect. If Joss and Jack decide to deal with the Cyrus mess quietly, they need to act quickly. Jordan is going through her files on Cyrus and could connect him to Austin, who was found dead in his cabin in the same area where Cyrus escaped. There's a major search underway for the digitalis killer, but Anna only knows that he was leaving town. She even agreed to let Dante help with the search. I suspect Jack will push Joss to let him clean up this mess for her, which might sound appealing at first. However, allowing the local WSB station chief to cover up a murder means Joss will be indebted to him forever. Jack could make any demands, and Joss would have to comply. Plus, Brennan has shown a peculiar interest in Joss. I don't think it's romantic or sexual, but it's definitely something. In a recent interview, the showrunner mentioned that Carly catching Jack's attention was not something he intended. If for any reason he is in town, Josslyn is part of that motivation that came up in this interview. I mentioned in another video a few weeks ago that I thought he was trying to recruit her, possibly because she's someone Jack values. Remember how he went to great lengths to get his niece the antidote to that virus he was unleashing? That feels like ages ago, and he's still out there. Jerry escaped from Steinmauer, where the WSB sends dangerous individuals. They've sent Liesel there and various others over the years, so maybe Brennan and the WSB want Joss to draw Jerry out of hiding. I'd be thrilled if we got Sebastian Rocha back as Joss's Uncle Jerry. In the end, Joss might have been better off calling 911 instead of Jack, but that's in the past now. The thing is, Cyrus is a known killer, and Joss shot him in self-defense when he had an axe in his hand. However, since she broke into his cabin and was snooping around, I think she panicked and feared she'd be arrested. Plus, another point in Jack Brennan's favor is that Joss's family doesn't typically involve the police. She grew up around mobsters who handle their own problems and try to stay off the police's radar. Yet, at the same time, Joss respected Dex's choice to join the PCPD. It didn't sit well with her at first, but eventually, she came to terms with it. It scared her initially, and she does respect her former stepbrother Dante Falconer's commitment to the law, but she doesn't fully embrace it. I trust Anna doesn't have a high opinion of her. If you recall, when Joss was involved in that investigation, Anna really let her have it for messing things up. She even warned Cyrus that he was a suspect, which Joss definitely botched. Then Anna told her she was putting herself in danger and threatened to arrest her. So, Joss might be concerned that Anna will think she went to Cyrus's cabin with the intent to confront him, rather than acting in self-defense. Plus, Jack isn't exactly a fan of Anna, so if Joss brings up the police chief, Brennan might jump in and say they'll stick to the letter of the law, and he could very well arrest her. I doubt Brennan will help Joss just out of kindness. He seems to have his own agenda that we haven't figured out yet. You know that saying about friends? A good friend helps you move, but a great friend helps you move a body. I think Josslyn and Brennan are about to become great friends, but what will he want in return? There's no way Josslyn can get away with murder without facing some consequences, and I suspect she'll have to pay that price to Jack. I also have a feeling the cops will head out to Austin's cabin soon. They might discover blood on the floor and ID tags from Cyrus's victims, but no body. Or, Josslyn might take the trophies, those wristbands that Cyrus collected, and she and Jack could stage a crime scene that won't point to her. Since she touched all the wristbands, her fingerprints will be on them. The cops are on their way, and Josslyn and Brennan are running out of time. If Josslyn and Jack dispose of his body where it won't be found, it will leave a lot of people in the dark. If they leave it there to be discovered or hide it somewhere else, the main suspect in all of this would definitely be Jason Morgan as the shooter. Let's be honest, Anna pleaded with him not to kill Cyrus, and so did Alexis. Everyone knows he has a strong desire to eliminate Cyrus. He was just talking about it at Sam's grave. At the time of the shooting, that's a significant issue. So, Josslyn was at the cabin and shot him, and during that time frame, depending on how the scenes are arranged in real time versus how they edit it, Jason was either alone at the cemetery or withdrew at the new house. We all know Jason can't count on his scheming twin Drew to provide him with an alibi unless it benefits Drew himself. I don't believe Josslyn would intentionally set Jason up to take the blame for her shooting Cyrus, but Brennan might not care as long as it diverts attention from Josslyn, since he needs her for some reason. There's definitely an agenda at play that we'll learn more about, but keep an eye on how she manages to evade justice with assistance from the WSB. Thank you for being a loyal listener.